I was 9 when I was brought to a priest in northern Ghana to atone for my grandmother's crime of stealing an earring. When I was 13, he forced me to have sex with him. I didn't resist. If I had, none of the other slave girls would have helped me anyway.
There's a control and power issue with children. They don't form unions, they don't strike, and you can beat them.
The rebels told me to join them, but I said no. Then they killed my smaller brother. I changed my mind.
There are no texts in the Indonesian ads. When we worked in the factory, we thought just do it meant work harder and don't question authority.
I went to the city and asked the man for a job. He asked what kind of job. I answered on the harbor. But when we were heading out to sea, I said, where are we going? Where is the harbor? Then I saw the fishing platform. I had heard about the Jamal, and I didn't want to work there.
The only thing we have here are diamonds and gold. There's no food, there's no water, so that's all we try to kill each other for. But the way the rebels treated people and the way they killed people, they would cut people's hands off and ask them if they wanted short sleeve or long sleeve. And if you said short sleeve, they cut your arms all the way up. And if you said long sleeve, well, either way, you lose your hands.
No matter what she does, it seems her hands are never clean from other people's sins. She's forced to redeem it from all that she's seen. She's afraid of her dreams for a spot stain her skin dark red like blood about the clot, starting at her hands and spreading to her crotch. She cries in her sleep, but she's powerless to stop it. Out, out, damn spot, she screams, though the guilt is not her own. She knows her whole family left her abandoned and alone to be a slave to a man she has never known. And though she's barely grown, she bears him 3 children he won't claim as his own. She loves them, but she can scarcely feed them. She feels the dust settle on their bones, full-blown despair and all hope overthrown. She grieves that for them there can never be a home, like soup can't really be made from cold, hard stone.
No matter what he does, it seems his hands are never clean of the pesticides left inside of the coffee beans. He's been picking since childhood, now he's well into his teens, although once upon a time, he used to have the dreams of learning the ways of a carpenter, not the backbreaking days as a harvester. But his dreams become secondary because survival is primary, because the world he lives in is third. Early employment is the only option he heard. School's just a waste of time and money and words. So he trades the classroom for the workplace, and just for the reason that school's in session only during harvest season. Now he came to the math to see how he can make a profit, just knows that he has to work more in order to live off it. Can't calculate that the average a day is below the minimums of minimum wage. Can't question what you don't understand, and the theory is supply and demand when you're supplying the demand. While consumers complain to live for coffee, farmers can hardly live off the coffee they pay for, and payment for a pound parallels the price of a cup. Funny, we fulfill our caffeine fix, but for feeding a family of 5, it's never enough.
No matter what he does, it seems his hands are never clean from the blood that burns through his skin, marks of his sins and singes his soul to steam, like the smoke from his automatic gun, for he's a trained killing machine. Well, that's what they want him to be, but he's still just a boy, barely 10 years old. His tongue tips with terrors untold of dismemberments and rapes and babies who were shot where they crawled, prisoners from state house who were mauled by dogs. These gave him such nightmares, so they shot him up with drugs. Now the world's a dying dream, and he hardly hears the screams of the souls they've amassed, fighting for freedom. Freedom at last? He's not sure, but he knows the future must bury the bones of the past. At least that's what they said when they shot his little brother dead with 2 pistol blasts to his head. Now with fingers tightly clenched, he nightly sends prayers to the dead and asks God why he survived when alive feels so much like hell instead.
No matter what she does, it seems her hands are never clean of the sweat she makes from working 18 hours with just 2 breaks. One for a drink of water, the other for bathroom, so she waits to see how long it takes until she desperately needs it. And she thanks God today she hasn't begun to menstruate, afraid of suffering the same fate like the girl next to her who's beaten with a rake for taking too long and coming back late, and she wonders if this was all a mistake until she remembers again why she came here in the first place. Because the only other alternative for a female was farm work or prostitution. She sought being sent far away from home for factory work as a solution, until the supervisors promised to promote her because she's so pretty and innocent, but only in exchange for sexual favors. At first, she's hesitant. She gives in because it's evident she can't survive the dozen fumes in the room where she works in. There is no vent, and at this point every opportunity is worth every cent. She can't resist him anyway. His advances are uncontrollable and so persistent. She wonders if she'll end up like his last assistant, who was rumored to have been harassed until she was pregnant, forced to stand in the burning sun for hours for punishment, forced to either get an abortion or be sent back home. She chose to keep her baby. Now her whereabouts are unknown.
No matter what he does, it seems his hands are never clean from the stench of reeking fish set deep in his skin. And every day he's on this fishing platform, his darkest fears seep in. Like during yesterday's lightning storm, the waves roared for another boy to sweep in. And he's nearly certain next to be him because he thinks the water fills out for those who can't swim. But he doesn't listen when the other boys tease. He just keeps a close watch over the sea for a boat carrying a man who will say he can leave. The same man whose lies about good work for good pay he eagerly believed. The same man who tricked him and sent him to this place for so long now, he's lost track of the days, so he works hard to avoid getting dragged into ways by Tiny letting get snagged in so many ways. He doesn't want to get trapped and be gone without a trace. Who will tell his mom what happened? He'll become another no-name boy with a forgotten face. So day after day, month after month, his senses grow sharper while he patiently works harder and looks to the shore each afternoon as the light starts to fall darker. And as the night marks another day, he's on life's been bartered. He wishes to Allah that he could walk on water.
No matter what she does, it seems her hands are never clean and the stain of blood spilled over the esteem of her gems gleam. No matter how shiny these diamonds seem, they don't brighten up any of the dark horror she's seen. The truth is unknown behind these precious stones she's the first to find, but will never own. And she not only knows its value, but the human cost, a painful exchange for loved ones lost, like the virginity that was taken by rape for her submission, the arms they got off her brother when he went and listened and watched as rebels packed cocaine over his wounds. Drugged and full of fear, she surrendered to them soon. She can't escape or fight them, only grant them amnesty. Because like her brother, she just became dependent upon a new rebel family. Because what used to be her mother and father are now shallow graves, and what used to be friends and neighbors are now fellow slaves, and what used to be her home of fertile farmlands and fields are now pools of mosquito-infested water. And although the life she leads today is as a diamond digger, she remembers she is still somebody's daughter. Doing the daily dirty work, she digs deeper and deeper into the earth's savage, searching for the answer to what's it all really worth.